My name is Alejandro. Thank you all for coming out, for tuning in. Something we do at Café Cultura is we do community features every month, and we feature a community organization or group, and we give them time to talk about what they're doing and the group that they're doing in the community, and hopefully to try to help them out, give them a voice in our space. So come check it out. Like Azúcar Morena said, we're every second Friday of the month. So check us out. I'm just trying to adjust this. All right. So this piece I wrote about a month ago. I wrote this for Dolores Huerta. If you all know who she is, she's an organizer, still an organizer. She's 83 years old. She's still an organizer. And she was, she helped Sara Chavez fund the UFW, United Front Workers as a union. And I got to read this for her at an event in Oregon, where I went to school at Willamette University about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. It was really cool. And just, I don't know, I didn't know how much this piece meant to me until I started practicing it today, and then afterwards and during it. So hope you'll like it. Quote, "My memory will retain what is worthwhile. My memory knows more about me than I do, doesn't lose what deserves to be saved." End quote. I remember springtime, butterflies, mangoes, and almond trees. I remember my first crush and the first poem that I ever wrote. It was to her. It read, "Tu sonrisa es como el amanecer. Nancy, te amo. ¿Quieres ser mi esposa?" She said no. It broke my heart. I was in first grade, so anyway, I can tell you the story later. I remember chopping wood from my great-grandmother's mud stove, grinding corn on el metate, listening to soap operas on a 37-year-old static key radio, homemade tortillas that will never taste the same. I remember the phone call, the decision, and my mother's laugh. After 8 years, I will get to know her. I remember when I crossed. It was like a dream that turned into a nightmare. I remember the orchard, the leaves, and the trees and the leaves swaying back and forth as if dancing with the sun. I remember how los ríos del norte kept us company on hot summer days. I remember the pesticides landing on bodies and the effects. See, my mother isn't as strong anymore. The orchard claimed her strength. The orchard also claimed her 2 unborn daughters. She never got to plan their quinceañera. I remember fall semesters in college, trying to hide the scars in my hands. See, I didn't have vacation stories, just traces of hard work in my palms. I was ashamed. I remember the first time I felt inclined to fight for social justice. I was 5 years old. I overheard my grandmother talking about my grandfather's death. He was shot and killed in front of our family for defending our land. I was the last person that he ever held. He passed down his torch. As soon as I let go of his arms, the opportunity for a better life is thanks to those that came before us. We are all elders, ancestors in training. There are no blueprints to follow, just memories we must remember. Dolores, you are a living martyr, a testament of hard work for you. Time will have to invent new ways of telling stories. History has yet to remember you correctly. It will have to read the pages of huelga y resistencia buried inside of your throat. We will have to examine your spine for evidence of what it is that women like you always stand strong. See, you could have quit so many times, but you don't tell me. Where does one find the audacity, the willpower to raise 11 children while still raising a fist? Is it the first students you ever taught? Their bony bodies with bare feet and brave hearts? Is it the lives you touched? Your mother's or Richard's memory. When you pray, do you dip your prayers in sunshine, whisper them in between fingers until they find their way into the air, knocking on heaven's door, asking to be heard? When you pray, how often do you think of Cesar, Bobby, your father, and those lost to the struggle? When you pray, how often do you mention your own name? I imagine that when you pray, Creator smiles with satisfaction for creating such a beautiful masterpiece, your heartbeat. It's the song that Mother Earth listens to what she's Your heartbeat is the song that Mother Earth listens to while she is blooming in spring. Dolores, I want to unfold your wrinkles. Read the secrets that you hold in them. Tattoo them onto my hands and arms so that when I shake and hug, I pass them on, and I still believe that despite all they throw against us, despite all the arrests, all the broken ribs, all the deportations and pesticides, I still believe that we can paint the sky with shades of our dreams and portraits of our tomorrows, our deepest sorrows, our dreams conformed. If you know what they want instead of what we want. In the back, let us pretend there's a jukebox. Playing our favorite song, let's slow dance to it. until night comes so that we can finger paint new stars onto the sky. Let us forget we are mortals, for your legacy will be a new heritage. Your memory will live in fields future generations will tend to. Your footsteps are forever ingrained in Central California and Nuevo Mexico. Your souls paved the way to Sacramento. You're a sunflower. Always reaching for the sky, strong, deep-rooted. You help plant the idea that together we are unbreakable. You are a strong foundation like pyramids. You will always stand, and we will always remember you like our fondest childhood memories, like a father's kiss. Like butterfly wings, remember symmetry. We will remember you like I remember that our dreams for justice, freedom, and land should never be compromised. You are springtime to a little boy from Western Mexico. A paper crane carrying the hopes and dreams of a whole generation. And we will remember you like I remember almond trees. And my first crush. And my first poem. Like I remember when trees and leaves would dance with the sun. We will remember you like I remember when my great-grandmother flipped her tortillas while singing songs. Like I remember the phone call that changed my life. Like I remember my uncle saying, duérmete, duérmete, que no te vean, duérmete, duérmete, que no te vean. See my hands. They are not ashamed anymore, Dolores. They write poems. My mother is stronger than before. My grandfather's memory lives. That's why we're able to stand. Just like you, we have sacrificed so much that it will be harder to quit than keep going. We will carry you in our hands like fresh water, essential for our survival. We will carry you in our hands like seeds, and we will plant you so that 5-year-olds don't ever have to feel like they have to fight for justice. Dolores, you truly are a living martyr, a testament of hard work for you. History will never have enough time to read the pages of huelga y resistencia buried inside of your throat. We will tell it that you were someone beautiful with a hurricane voice and a fighter's spirit that tied us together. We are unbreakable. So this next piece I'm going to write, or not write, I rewrote it. Read. It's about my mother. As I mentioned in the last poem, when we came from Mexico, we went to work in Oregon at an orchard, pear orchard, apples, cherries, all that kind of stuff. We were exposed to a lot of pesticides. And a lot of pesticides that we were exposed to caused my mother to be diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis. If you don't know what that is, basically like beats down your body, attacks your nervous system, and you're left very, very weak. So simple things like doing your hair are no longer possible. So this is for her. Se van perdiendo en el tiempo mis años, se van quedando muy lejos. Ya no me lleva mi madre la mano, solamente sus consejos. Viven en mí los recuerdos de niño, cuando una estrella deseaba, como recuerdo a mi madre, que con eso sonreía mientras mi padre miraba. The touch of your hands. That's what I imagine clouds to feel like you. Cradled the sun. Fed it from your breast and gave it life. That's how strong you are. Ever since I can remember, you have always extended your hands out to strangers and spoken with conviction. You have never needed a college degree to prove your wisdom. You have left your fingerprints on pear trees and haven't held pesticides for fresh breath, cherry blossoms. They were honored to provide shade for you. You would climb to the highest up on the rusty ladder to pick the highest fruit. But really, you were trying to touch the sky, looking for a door to heaven that you still haven't found, so you pray. But never for yourself. Selfishness has never been a way of your part of life. You told me that we need to have faith, and I says, yeah, we do. But why is it that we always end up praising the gods of the people that killed our grandparents? As a little kid, I would sit in the kitchen for hours and then examine the folds. Then to increase the handship de la masa para las tortillas. That's how I learned how to read your emotions. For you, cooking books have always been overrated, so you pull from recipes that dance around your cooking pots and give birth to the best pozole, enchiladas, tamales, and frijoles. You have taught me the meaning of it through your seasonings. Mother, I want to walk with you to where your spirit goes when you sleep, and I want to whisper in the ear, and I'm thankful for all of your lessons. See my mother. She used to tell me about her frustrations by trying to write them on my torso with her fist. Her class struggle is to imprint it on my back. When the beauty of her backhand would burst my lips open, she would say, that's why reality tastes like, mijo. Get used to it. Acostúmbrate. She is living proof the borders are man-made. Along her right thigh, barbed wires drew a map of her Arizona desert crossing. And at night, she would let us follow with her fingertips, and every goosebump she would tell us about her trip. Those were bedtime stories. And when she thought of her falling asleep, through her tears, she would use her pupils as brushes to paint photographs of her sons behind her eyelids because her miserable wage, it couldn't always afford school pictures. And just like she doesn't know that I write poetry, she doesn't know that I still remember every single one of the midnight sobs. My mother carries the weight of a culture in her hands. That's why she has calluses. Because with her two sons, she has redefined at least twice in her lifetime along her spine. She carries the wisdom of her grandmother, tells us not to forget where we come from and to plan for our return. She is careful to remind us that we did not choose to come here. We were forced to. She used to braid sun rays with her hair just to prove that nothing is unreachable. That's why she tried to touch the sky, just to prove that nothing is unreachable. That's why she tried to touch the sky, to prove that there's beauty beyond abuse. Broken beer bottles, needles, and miscarriages. She carries so much more weight so that I won't have to. And she prays like she has something to repent for, not realizing that her house has become a heaven, and she is the goddess that has never been conquered.